Good morning. How are you? How to watch thoughts. An hour ago, I couldn't have answered this question as well as I can now. I just did a Vipassana meditation and I got a really significant realization, and I'm gonna share it with you. 1 year ago, I started serious meditation path, and yeah, watching thoughts has been, I think, the biggest challenge for me in meditation. I've been able to clear my mind from thoughts through watching breathing, but I haven't really captured the idea of watching thoughts. I've been able to watch emotions as well. I've been able to watch my body sensations, but to observe the thoughts has been a challenge. I've been thinking that I am able to observe my thoughts, but this morning I realized that it hasn't been the case. Even though I'm enlightened, it's been a challenge for me. And I think actually I would call myself probably awakened to the stage of bodhisattva, which means I have realized the true nature of the existence. But still I just realized 1 hour ago I have so much work to do that, wow. But let's get to the point. Watching thoughts. Yeah, I think this hat is a good example or good way to get to the subject, really, because probably there are ideas in your mind that what a clown this guy is, or I think this hat probably raises some kind of thoughts of what's going on, and you are identified with that idea. What is this guy doing with this hat? Looks like a clown. The real reason is that it's the morning, my hair is all messed up. So, and I wanted to have a little change and maybe to launch your thoughts a bit to the subject. But yeah, identification with the thought. I've been watching in the past couple of days ago, I watched a video of one of my current gurus, Leo from actualize.org. I recommend to watch his videos about enlightenment and everything. And this was about his video Enlightenment step-by-step process. He really makes really good videos with really good insight, much more, I think, to the really to the point than my videos. So I recommend you watch. They are very long videos, but wow, he's really good at explaining things. But I watched his video and he talked about meditating with the question, who is aware, who is perceiving, and who am I? And I started with that kind of meditation this morning. First I did 30 minutes Vipassana. It cleared my mind. And then next 30 minutes I started to ask questions that who am I? Who is in? And who is aware? And that led me to this realization of how to watch, how to really, really watch thoughts. Because earlier I have applied techniques such as watching the breath and sort of ignoring the thoughts. That if I concentrate on my breath, by and by the thoughts disappear, because the mind gets bored by just watching the breath, a simple thing, and then, wow, the thoughts are gone. And it's good. It's a good way to meditate. But if you really want to progress, you have to be able to watch other things also than just your body sensation, like breathing. You have to be able to watch the thoughts. And watching the thoughts is really a tricky thing. Because I've been watching my thoughts, let the mind roll. And it's good. It is sort of watching the thought, but it really is also identification, because somehow there is some kind of frustration that, okay, I'm very aware what I'm thinking, but still the thoughts are just flowing and taking me everywhere and distracting me from Vipassana. And I have to stress you that this kind of processes are very, very long. You have to make thousands of mistakes and just meditate with your mind rolling and rolling. And it's really frustrating and demands a lot of long-term patience and persistence. But they are all meditations, whatever happens, are for good benefit. They are taking you, even though you think they're not taking you somewhere, they are always. But this kind of watching thought, that I just am aware that I'm thinking, has been something that I have been thinking, that I am aware and watching and observing my thoughts. But still I have had a little bit of frustration that I don't really somehow get the sense. I have even made a video earlier in Finnish of how to watch thoughts. But I think, you learn every day, and there was some insight in that video too, but I think now I really know much more, and really that was a breakthrough this morning. So what happened? I started because, it's not enough just to understand in your mind that, okay, I'm not my thought and I'm not my body. Like all the meditation gurus may hand it to you. You are not your body, you are not your mind, you are not your emotions. if I just know that, that takes me nowhere. If I don't really have the full experience of that thing, it's no use. It's no use for me to know anything. So the big realization was that I started to think, who is where, who is in, who am I really, as a sensational level, not in my mind, because my mind is thoughts. It's just the thought. If I think, who am I? But okay, I have to start from somewhere. I started logically thinking, who am I? Who is in? Who is where? And I sensed my body really, really well. I was really in a strong meditative state. And I thought that, okay, I'm this entity. I'm this entity of my body. I can sense my body. I'm this whole thing, my thoughts and everything. But then I started to think that, okay, my body sensations, if they are gone, if I'm paralyzed somehow and hurt, injured, and I can't feel my body, am I any less me? And okay, I figured, okay, I would be exactly the same me. I would just not feel my body sensations. So then I started to go to the point that, okay, I'm my thoughts. All the sensations, all the emotions, everything come to my brain, to my mind, and I'm the thoughts. Because that's the constant flow that's going on. Really. Okay, logically, I can say that, okay, when I'm not thinking, what then? But then I also thought that, okay, I'm always thinking in some way. There's such just really solid thinking that, okay, I'm not my mind is empty, but there is this idea, some kind of leveled idea. But I started to sense that, okay, these thoughts, right now when I'm talking, this kind of thoughts, this whole thing, I can observe them. I can really observe my thoughts. So, I cannot be the thought. If I'm really, really the thought itself that's thinking, then that would be the total reality. There can't be somebody else that some other thing that can follow the thought. You see? Can you have this feeling and sensation, not just in a logic sense? Because that's what made the difference for me. That, okay, I'm really sensing that my thoughts, I'm observing them. I can't be the thought. And then there came a clearance in me that I started to do this dialogue inside of me. Actually, my mind was very, very clear, because then it was sort of like a moment of truth. I started to speak myself. This is your thought. How can you be aware of this thought if you are the thought? And that's what deep inside you think you are. You think you are the mind. You think you are the brain. You think you are the thought. And I could hear the thoughts didn't take me anywhere. I just talked this really clear sentences to me. And it was fascinating. I just watched my own monologue telling me, how can you be so stupid to think that you are your thought, your mind? Because who is observing? And then I had a really clear mind, and the thought process took me a little bit, I think, forward. But okay, this is great. I can really sense that I'm this something that I can't really capture, something watching the thought. And it can't be a thought watching the thought, because that would be the thought also. And I have to go behind that idea as well. So I figured I am this blank paper space where these thoughts come. And I really could sense it, and that's very important to feel it, to sense it, to be it, truly. So now I have a feeling that I am separate from the thoughts. Truly, truly, truly. That it's not just an idea, that okay, thoughts are not me. It's not a belief system. I can really experience watching the thought. And who am I? The question still remains. And I'm gonna proceed with that. Or who is in? Who is aware is a very good question too. Or who is perceiving? To ask that question, to go deep. And it's these kind of things are hard to explain in words. Because words are stories, they are thoughts. The sentences are thoughts. You have to do it yourself to truly capture the thing and to become it, to know yourself. It's and to understand, really, to see that you can watch your thoughts. You. Then comes the question, who are you then? If your thoughts just come like that, who controls, what controls the thoughts that come? What makes decisions? And that is when you go deeper and deeper in yourself, and you will find something very precious there. But this, I think, in this world, is what makes us crazy and what makes this total chaos and the way things are, way things are governed, the wars, differences between humankind. I mean, the battles, everything, the craziness. You know what I mean when I talk about the craziness in the world. Donald Trump may be the next president of the United States. Hillary Clinton may be the next president of the United States. These kind of things happen because most of us, there is only a tiny percent that's not identified with their thoughts. They think they are their thoughts. That's why they believe in their thoughts, and they believe in the self, what they think they are, because they are a combination of different thoughts put in by the society, parents, television, newspapers. We are a combination of thoughts, and we think we are our thoughts, and we are following the thoughts to our actions. And it's a mess. And it's a mess because we don't realize that truly. If we would realize that we are not our thoughts, really, we would understand everybody is in the same boat. And we would have much more compassion and understanding towards each other, because we are all the same. We are all the same awareness, the same consciousness, the same emptiness. I love you. Namaste.